Oh my gosh, you guys are going to love this. I'm going to add some synth and choir. Go to fills. Hello, my name's John Skippy. Cool. Welcome to a really fun new library to show you guys. This is Modern Cinema Renegade. This is a library by Bob Dedes, who is someone I have worked with for 7 years. He started doing demos. He lives in Greece. And he also writes incredible music. And he's become quite an incredible sound designer too, as you will see. Wow, where to start? This is an all-in-one library. Everything you're hearing. These are all new samples for Unify. It's the only place you can go to get this library is Unify. On top of this, there's a 1 gigabyte wave library included with this, which includes metadata embedded cinematic trailer sound effects and swoops and hits and all that kind of stuff. There's even the 12 demos on the library website that you can play. All of those are available for analysis with separate tracks. So you can load them up in your DAW like this. And here they are so that you can see all of the tracks that were used to do one of his songs. It's just awesome. Now, these are only for evaluative purposes. They're not for you to use in your own music, but to see how the sounds can be used. All these sounds are in the library, so you can get all sorts of inspiration. You can also learn how he took this. So let's see if we unmute these guys. Here's the stereo mix of that track. And then you can also hear how he mastered it. That big bump up. So you can hear all the parts, get all sorts of creative ideas. Go find the sounds in the library, use them for yourself. All 12 songs are pulled apart this way for you to study and analyze. It's really rare that someone of Bob's caliber and capabilities would share this level of detail with you. So all of that is included in this library. And I'm going to show you all the patches now. There's 82 to start with right now. If you want this library, let me show you really quickly where to go. That's at the pluginguru.com website. And then if you go over here to the Modern Cinema page, here's where you can see all the different demos and play them. But that's where it's at. To get this, there's also a link to the library in the video description below. Now, before I get into showing you the library, let me talk really quickly about installation, because this is 12 gigabytes. It's very large, and it requires 4 separate files that you will download. Actually, 5, because the first is a file that you can download and unzip that's called README First, that has installation instructions. It has the wave library inside of it. And then 1 through 4 are 4 files for Unify. And once you have unzipped them, they will look like this. You'll have the Modern Cinematic Renegade folder, which has installation instructions, the incredible artwork that was done by my friend Michael van der Ant in Amsterdam. He does incredible artwork for movie trailers and stuff. And wow. Killer artwork. And then the wave library is here. Now, these are the 4 parts to this library, and all you need to do is install them one at a time. You can either use the little settings button right here and say select Guru file, or you can just take part 1, drag it over the interface of Unify. It will pop up and say, hey, do you want to install this? I'm going to say cancel because I already have, and say yes and install. And then once it's done that, do the same thing for 2, 3, part 4. You'll be asked for your license number, which was emailed to you. You can also log into the pluginguru.com website to see your license anytime you want. It's there once you've logged in for anything you have purchased that has a license, or to download anything you've purchased in the past. It's right there for you to work with. So this library is broken into 5 separate parts. And if you come down here, we actually talk about the 5 parts right here. The categories are percussion, sound design, that's the hit, sweeps, suckbacks, stuff like that, vocal chops and stabs, ear candy things in 4, and then 5 is the instruments. And each one could almost be considered a complete library into itself. So trailer percussion, if you call this up, now we can make this keyboard go away, because one of the things for Unify 1.8 that we did was we added key zones. And it was Bob's request that we do this because of this library. So each one of these you will see, if it's white, then that means there's no sound. Right? So you got that kind of stuff. So here are super toms. Ensemble rims. All these things for building rhythmic elements. Here is the drive kit. Really cool. Body percussion. Stomps. Chest hits, slaps. So these are cool for all sorts of musical applications. Layered claps. Right? All sorts of following. All of them named. Each one of these has round robin samples, meaning there's more than one sample. So eight round robins, I believe, for a lot of these. Between 4 and 8 for most everything in the library. Just gives it that much more realism for everything you're hearing. Gotta have sub hits. Stuff. Sub hits, a whole separate category. Right? Organic hits. Whooshes. These are great for all sorts of genres of music. And then risers and drops. When you're ready. And then ear candy. This is another category of shouts and doing dance music, to have them. Then he got his girlfriend to come into the studio for a day, so that female and all that kind of stuff. Vocalizers, these are tuned across the keyboard. And I set these up with the mod wheel to do a pulse. And all of these, every one of these things that I've shown you, you have control of sample start. Even the drums and the percussion, the sweeps, everything I showed you earlier. Reverb. I want this to fade in. It's really, really cool if we go back to something like maybe trailer percussion. If you want, you can turn down the so they're all set up with knobs for every patch to do all sorts of fun things like that. More vocalizers. Let's go back here to the keys. There's a ton of other variations on all these types of things in the Wave library. More than here, believe it or not. Wild screams. If you're doing cinematic trailer kind of stuff, these are perfect for what's going on right now, right? All right, up next we have brass stabs. Right? Stabs B. It's got some scoops. I mean, so much. But everything has this really cool energy to it, so it's fun. All sorts of fun places. And then final section is part 5, which is instruments and basses. They're all looped. Cool motion. And that kind of distorted kind of vibe is coming from Noise Box, believe it or not. Here's without it. One of the best secrets in Unify is Noise Box. Yeah. Here's a bass pick. Again, round robins like crazy on everything. I think this has multi-velocities to the actual instruments too. It's just always changing. Here's Bassett. Funky. Mogi. Punky Funky. And then Thunder Bass is bass and slide effects. Stuff like that's there. Then we get to the BPM stuff. This is taking the percussion maps that I showed you earlier, using MIDI box to do all sorts of fun things. The Epic Percussion Builder is 4 different sections that you can play. These are the subs. Right? You can build your own grooves. Just cool stuff. Right? So have fun there. Intense Pursuit. This plays across the whole keyboard. So you could layer it with something huge. I could go down here to something like Borderlands, right click, say load this into a new Unify layer. This is a split with like a really cool, big, ominous, bassy kind of guitar. Right? So they're ready to go, doing all sorts of fun stuff like that. There's some stomps, both marches, stomp rock, where there's just claps on the upbeats. Stomp party is a whole bunch of different. We have percussion fills, which is both straight and triplet. And then above that are triplets. Just, oh my gosh. For ends of things and stuff like that. Right? So it's just like, wow. Then we get some more brass things. These are brass shorts. And if you layer these, I made it one of the bonus patches. There's going to be more bonus patches like this coming, like I said. This right here, Dream Statement, is a... with that brass layered with other things. Monster Stabs. Layer those with basses and stuff like that. I made an alternate version of the drum kit called the Snappy Drive Kit. So it's less reverb than the original up here, which just by using the amp EG and stuff. So if you don't need it to be quite so taking up so much space with the sounds, you can use that drum kit that's snappier. Now we get to the guitars, and these are like, oh my goodness. This one I'm loading right now takes a little bit of time to load because it's 4 or 5 velocity layers that each have 8 round robins for each one. That makes it so that you have, when you play soft, you change just by velocity from playing from soft muted. And if you want, you can use the curvature to make it more. And you have to hit harder to get into the sustains. You can even do this where you bring this down. So it can't get to the sustains if you want. Or just a higher level where it's kind of in between sustain and mutes. Or you have all the variations below that down here for a light version of the map, which uses fewer samples. Or just the mutes by themselves. And this part of the range is usually so hard with guitar sample libraries. They just sound great. And here is Cruncher's Sustain, which is just a sustaining guitar. Again, round robin like crazy. Really great for melodies. Right? Here's Rascal. This is the high memory version. So this is again 4 or 5 velocity layers, 8 round robins per layer. Huge amount of samples. He tuned his guitars to D, so you get an extra note than most guitar libraries because it's tuned down to D to start. Really, really well sampled to have that consistent snappy articulations. There's a light version of this, which loads a little bit quicker. Takes less memory. Just the mutes. The Rascal sustains. Great. standard mutes. Okay, Wasteland is this really cool, ominous. And he toned it down an octave lower than normal, so. Just great, 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 great. Right? Here are clean mutes. That, you know, it's nice. Sidekick. So the guitars are just. Just love it. And then Worm. I mean, when he was telling me about this library, I wasn't expecting it to have this many just really cool, unique guitars. These are leads, so they're mono. And they're looped. Right? Burning lead. If I get out of here. Dirty Talker. Leader 1. Again, loop. And stabbed. Right? 1984 synth, we all know. Killer, I mean, this was like the sound used in so many rock tracks. Get ready. Right? Leader 2. Right? And finally, shaky. And then we get to Vox. These are pretty amazing. This is Bob singing multi-tracks. Sound really great in a track for like adding a vocal. harder noise kind of thing, solo. And then all of them together. And then he's put them into composite mixes and produced and mixed them in a certain way for different vibes. Modern chant. And then my favorite is stadium chant. Sounds like you're at a game and just everybody around you is singing. Right? So that's the library. So much stuff. Listen to the demo tracks. It's crazy what we can do with all that. Now there's bonus patches. Different variations on taking the bass. I'm going to make some more basses for the bonus content we're going to make for the bonus release. This is a fun BPM pad. This is using that 1984, like a nice resonance synth. Then we get to some really fun BPM splits. This is one note pop and jam. Just play low C. Rock band takes off. And you get a guitar. And it's in the key of F. Right? And then Rock and Renegade, I played this at the very beginning. This is one note, cool groove, but you can change chords. And if you change the guitar pattern, there's 4 possible patterns for guitar and bass. So here's a simplified. And when you set the guitar to pattern 0 like this, it's just playing octaves and fifths, so you can play minor. Or major. It'll work either way. Anything above that and you get into major 7 or 9, or all the way up and you get the nice little cadence, ostinato. Stomp, this goes to this track, off, just claps, or that chord note stomp. So you can choose. This one claps if you want the big deal. This is for the drums. This is for 4 different MIDI files that are assigned to the drum groove. Got straight 8s, 16th notes, halftime, and at the end it's fills. And it's 8 measures of fills. So it's always doing different fills. So anytime you need a fill, just pop over there. And then synth on and off turns on parts 6 and 7, which give you a synth part. And in the right hand, it adds the stadium to the guitar. So just way too much fun. Rock and Jam Time. This is one Bob did that's really, really cool. if you go to the song section, you can go between two chord progressions. Right? And then Time to Rock You. You get the idea. The brass statement I showed you earlier. Stereo mutes is the two guitars. I kind of match them so that they kind of have the muted dreams. Then incredible pad. Right? And off you go like that. And then finally, Borderlands, which is nice bass and guitar fits. And then cool, like Blade Runner-esque. Right? So that is Renegade. And we will be releasing additional patches for this. It's a very, very fun library because it has so much content to give you such great guitars and basses and synths, all the cinematic hits and swooshes and percussion, body clapping and all that. They're so valuable for all sorts of genres of music. Okay, so I'm editing the video and I decided to take a break. I'm not wearing the same clothes as I did for the rest of the video. It's the next day, but I want to show you the Wave edition of Renegade. It's got some really cool elements to it that you're not going to find in the Unify library, so you should know about this because they're really usable and cool. These first three folders, Sound Design, Ear Candy, and Loops, have audio wave files, 24-bit, 48 kilohertz, cleared for use in any type of production, from something you do in your house for personal use, for nobody else to hear, all the way to things that you're going to be doing in big films, sound scores, trailer music, anything you want. They're cleared for, in fact, all the sound design has metadata and all that information that's critical for sound designers built into all of the samples already. There's these folders, and inside you will find all sorts of really cool beautiful, beautiful sounds. Hits and impacts. Ow. Let's see what a weak shot sounds like. Yeah, that's real weak, man. Whooshes. Great for all sorts of use. And these you can just drag into an audio track on your DAW and use them for the music you're working on. So use that just before you go into the chorus. It's really cool to put these in there. These are ones that they call suckback because at the very end, they kind of like go backwards, they reverse and kind of like go away. Whoosh. Try it. Put some of these in your music to see what it does. Even lower tempo music having that energy And then if you can like stretch it out and high pass filter if you don't need the low end, there's so many ways to use these. These are cool. Just go to cool low frequency. Yeah. So all the sound design stuff is just really cool. Ear Candy has all the vocals, the swoops, the haze, the shouts. Hey! Right? Stuff like that. Hits, stabs, screams. There's even like police and sirens and cool things like that. Put that in on the beat 3 of a groove. It's really cool. And then the loops folder has a ton of really cool ensemble and other types. So here's like, check this out. Here's the full ensemble. And then it's able to be looped, right? Because it's set up, it's got the tempo on there. And then here are the elements. So you can put those into your DAW, solo them out, use them all at one point, and then break it down to just smaller sections. But there's all of these different ensembles. Right? Super fun to use. Then you get into toms, claps, percussion elements are really fun. These are just one element, so they're cool. Put that into your groove. All that kind of stuff to play with. So explore all this. And then you get to the guitar riffs. Ready to go, man. Right on. Right? So all sorts of songwriting elements to work with. And then again, if we get to the demos and stems, all 12 demo songs that Bob has created are here. So you can hear them fully mastered, or go in here and hear the mix before mastering. I mean, the masters are all this hyper, kind of what people expect to hear in productions. And then all the elements that were used. Right? These are the parts that were used that together make. Right? So you can study all the demos, put them into your DAW, check out what parts were used to do what, and then that'll kind of give you the roadmap of how to go to the library and use that section of sounds for your own music productions. It's really fun that it is included along with the library. So you've got the Unify library. This is inside of the very first thing you download. Once you unzip it, you will have this folder. And inside of that folder is the Modern Cinema Renegade Wave Edition folder. And it's almost 2 gigabytes of awesomeness. So there you go. That's the whole library, including the Unify and the Wave all in one. Won't find a better deal for you guys anywhere. So it's awesome. Enjoy. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video, okay?